Austin Gayle here with Mike Renner, ready to talk PFF favorites entering year 3 in the NFL. A lot of good names on this list, but I think the best one by far, when I was writing this article, looking at other quarterbacks that could have fit in this slot, it's no contest. Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs broke a bunch of PFF records, and rightfully so, a big PFF favorite entering year 3.
Yeah, this one's pretty obvious. Won the MVP last year. Now, his numbers may decline in year 3. We might actually see his grade go up. The thing that I love about him is his game-to-game consistency is off the charts for a guy who's just in year 2. Didn't have a single game grade below 60 during the regular season last year. That just sort of, he's keeping you in every game. He's not, losing games all on his own. And so you have to give him so much credit for that. If we see him take this next step after a 92.9 overall grade last year, they should be in the Super Bowl conversation, even though the defense has its issues there.
Absolutely, and you look at just his performance from a clean pocket. That's what I love, a very non-volatile or stable stat that we've studied, and he is so impressive. He broke the PFF record for signal callers in year 2 for clean pocket passing grade, and I think he's only going to get better in year 3. Moving forward, I want to talk Chris Godwin. He's not a guy that is loved a ton right now coming into year 3, but he's still earned very high grades in both his years in the NFL, largely because he's a great contested catch receiver.
Yeah, he is a great contested catch receiver. He is great in those physical situations, getting his body to the right spot over the defensive back. And the thing is, the raw stats, I don't think really do him justice. He had the same yards per route as a guy like Kenny Galladay last year. He just wasn't on the field as much as those guys. So a 1,000-yard receiver like him, Antonio Brown, he was right next to him in terms of yards per route. And he just didn't have the opportunities. This year, though, I think he's going to have the opportunities. In Bruce Arians' offense, they're going to be heaving the ball down the field, and he's going to be a prime target in it. So I think we're expecting a big year from him. For a guy who's graded well in limited playing time throughout his career.
Absolutely. Bruce Arians, maybe get plus play out of Jameis Winston, and he continues to have that high grades that we've seen. That contested catchability dates back to his time at Penn State. One of the bigger highlights entering that draft was him mossing Garrett Conley down the sideline for Penn State there at Ohio State. So he's an exciting receiver. Excited to see him enter year 3. Moving forward, a guy I know you like a ton on the Saints, Ryan Ramczyk, that tackle. He has played very well in his 2 years.
Yeah, he was our #1 rated tackle coming out a couple of years ago and has made us look smart. I will just say that in his first 2 years with the Saints, highest graded rookie tackle in the NFL back in 2017. One of the top 5 highest graded right tackles in all the NFL last season, 84.1 overall grade. Whether it's the run game and pass blocking. Now, he had that issue against Dante Fowler in the NFC Championship game, but I think his body of work at this point is enough to say, hey, this guy is one of the best tackles in the NFL. And the crazy thing is, he's only played, 1 year of FBS competition at Wisconsin and now 2 years of NFL. You think the arrow should be trending upwards for him. He has all the physical tools to be an elite tackle for years to come.
Absolutely. Moving to the defensive side of the ball, a guy that when I was putting together this article, I turned on some of the tape, and you just see him win with just freakish size, freakish strength, athleticism. This guy has everything you want from a natural ability standpoint. Cleveland Browns edge defender Myles Garrett.
And the crazy thing is, he came out this week and said he was only allowed to use 2 moves as a pass rusher last year. Only allowed 2 moves. He has a lot more in the tank. We saw far more than 2 moves back at Texas A&M when he was coming out in the #1 overall pick. And I think you hit the nail on the head. He does things at the position no one else can from a size, length, strength, explosiveness perspective. If you built the defensive end, it would be Myles Garrett. So I'm expecting 90-plus, elite overall grade this next season. I think we're going to see some big things for him in years to come.
You take out Greg Williams, you allow this guy to use all the tools on the tool belt. I'm excited to see it. A stat I wanted to pull, looking at year 2 pass rush grade for all the players in the PFF era, he ranks 8th. The 7 guys ahead of him, Von Miller, Joey Bosa, Sean Merriman, Yannick Ngakoue, Khalil Mack, and Cameron Wake. That is absurd. A great list to be on. I think year 3 is going to be great for Myles Garrett. Moving forward, a linebacker that was doubted due to size concerns. I think he was around 231 pounds coming out. Safety hybrid, they called him. They didn't expect him to play well against the run, but he has been outstanding in his 2 years in the NFL, specifically in coverage. Tennessee Titans linebacker Jayon Brown.
Yeah, I love Jayon Brown's balance coming out. I thought he always seemed to be in the right place at the right time, was not getting himself in bad positions in coverage, and I think we saw that this past season. Really had a breakout year for the Tennessee Titans. Could be one of the best coverage linebackers in the NFL for years to come. And it's not really all about freakish athleticism at the linebacker position. It's about how quickly, reaction time, you can steal those split seconds back that you might not have in your 40 time by how quickly you process what's going on in front of you. I think that's Jayon Brown to a T.
Oh, absolutely. And you saw that, teams coveting coverage linebackers. You look in the draft, the first two guys were easily hands down the best coverage linebackers in this class, and Devin Bush and Devin White. I'm excited to see Jayon Brown move forward and the league trend in that direction for Jayon Brown types at linebacker to play coverage. Now after him, we want to look at Bears safety Eddie Jackson. From a box score perspective, this guy lit the NFL on fire last year, and the grades followed suit.
Yeah, I mean, the highest graded coverage grade of all safeties in the NFL this past season. He is a playmaker at the safety position, and he's kind of a do-it-all playmaker. He made plays underneath zones, deep zones, from the middle of the field, anywhere. I think he is your prototypical modern safety that anything you ask him to do coverage-wise, he can execute. And yes, they lost Adrian Amos in that Bears defense. Yes, they lost Bryce Callahan in the slot, but I'm not really expecting them to take a monstrous step back by any means because of what he has did and how the learning curve at safety is not quite like other positions. It takes a few years to hone your chops and like in the zone coverages that you see in the NFL. I think there's reason to believe he still could be getting better.
Absolutely, and his grade was sky high, and he turned turnovers into touchdowns constantly. I think you could expect some regression there given how many defensive touchdowns he did have, but he's still going to be outstanding. I think that's what we're on there. So go ahead and check out the article on ProFootballFocus.com, and while you're there, subscribe to PFF's Edge or Elite subscription to get all the advanced stats and career grades Mike Renner and myself speak to. Thank you.